Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/maliciouscompliance. So sit back, relax and enjoy some satisfying stories. Let's try beating the system. Background: this happened in my country, Southeast Asia, where labor laws don't apply that much, and it's practically the wild west when it comes to working in a corporate environment. The premise: this happened 10 years ago where I worked in an IT company. It's shift work where I work, 2 days, and I got 2 days off, so 15 days in total. I liked working there, but what I didn't like is how the HR treated their workers. If you want to quit your job, you need to give 2 months notice, and they withhold your pay till closing to quitting time, or pay 2 months salary to quit right away. This makes it very troublesome for anyone looking for a new job and needs to give notice. 8 months before my contract needs to be renewed, my wife was applying to study abroad for 5 years. Her company approved and we got a paid scholarship for the whole family. We are leaving 1 month after my contract is due, so I will be unemployed for a month. So I had 8 months to prepare. For a tech company, their HR is still using pen and paper, and leaves need to be submitted in written form for record-keeping purposes. So I started to plan to apply for leave on 1 month before my contract expires, but start 8 months from now. I just give my boss the form and he signed it with no questions asked. Did it for around 15 times. I have 21 days leave. So I got the whole month covered, which you actually can't do, but it was way in advance and no one checks the system. The last month of working, I didn't show up to work. My boss called me and I told him that I've already applied for leave that you approved. HR checked and they were quite angry at the boss for approving the leave. So now I got 1 month break with pay. My HR called me on the day of my contract renewal, and I said I'm out of town, which I'm not, and I'll come just right after payday. Once payday arrives, I came in the office and told her I wouldn't be continuing my contract, and I'll be leaving now. Her face was priceless, and she was fuming that she didn't get to stick it to me. Oh, that truly is malicious compliance, wow. Oh no, we can't have too many emails. Enjoy being in the dark. Not as malicious as some malicious compliance in this subreddit, but it was a decision made by people who didn't understand my job, and I complied knowing it would result in excrement hitting fans. So it seems fitting. Okay, so this was at my last job as the company's IT guy. It was supposed to be management, but they refused to give me the title, even though I was effectively doing a manager's job, albeit without staff. On the 2nd and 4th Thursday of each month, I would update all of their servers in line with Patch Tuesday. This was in Australia, so I'd download updates on Wednesday afternoon and install them on Thursday night at 6:30 PM. It was also a good opportunity to engage in some preventative maintenance, installing hardware, firmware updates, that sort of thing. On the day of the maintenance, I would send 6 emails related to it. One at 9 AM, one at 4:30 PM to remind people as they wrapped up for the day, one an hour before, one 10 minutes before, one just before I start, and one to sound the all clear once I was done. A salesperson complained that I was sending too many emails about this, so the general manager, GM, and managing director, MD, told me to only send 1 email at 4:30 PM. I asked about the all clear email and was shot down. Alright then, cue malicious compliance. The next Patch Thursday, 2 things happened. The general manager got booted out of the system when I brought it down for patching. Not the first time. Last time he had to stop me thanks to the emails I sent. Funny that. He called angrily demanding I stop, but I pointed out that A, the email I sent at 4:30 PM, and B, that the process had started and could not be stopped. No idea how long it would take, usually takes about 3 hours. Sorry. 3.5 hours later, the last server finished updates and booted back up. I opened Outlook and almost clicked new email before remembering that I was not allowed to send the all clear email. Oh well, I turned my phone off and went to bed. The next day, I woke to several voicemail messages from my colleagues, as well as messages from an angry general manager and managing director demanding to know why I didn't send the all clear. I printed off the email where they shot down my question about the all clear email and showed them upon arrival to the office. After this, I went to each desk and called each remote salesperson to tell everyone that the maintenance was done, making no secret of the fact that I was told not to send an all clear. When I returned to my desk, there was a reply to the email trail about the notifications requesting that I send an all clear from now on. Yeah, I think sometimes getting too many emails is probably better than getting not enough. Oh, your security. Okay, fella. Order received and understood. I used to work as a crew member for gigs, sometimes at Wembley Stadium, London, and one particular time in 1999, we're helping the set designer with his massive set, and they keep us on for a few gigs. Most load-ins for a gig, getting the stage up, the set, lighting, sound, etc., take a few days. But because of the roof on Wembley and the fact there was a lot of pyro on the set, it would take a week. We all have our AAA passes, getting everything ready for the load-in, ramps all set up, and we get told the trucks are going to be delayed, but to not set up the barriers again for where they are parked. We get to lie around chatting to each other waiting for the trucks. We say hello to the security guys and bring them cups of tea every now and then. We're all cool and just enjoying doing nothing and getting paid for it. Then there is a shift change on the security and robo-security pulls up in his tricked out car. "Who are you lot?" he asks, and a forest of AAAs appear and are waved. "What are you doing waiting here?" I'm supervising the very hard work of dossing, so I say, "Alright mate, we're just waiting for the load-in, but the trucks are delayed." He then replies, "I'm not your mate, I'm here to look after the security for the backstage." Like the backstage for a gig at Wembley only needs him to make it secure. Okay. We're going to be here for a week, so I try to build bridges and the conversation goes like this. "Are you going to park there?" "Yeah, I'm security." "I wouldn't park there." "It's parking innit, so I'm parking there. Talk to production if there's a problem." "No worries mate." He stomps off to protect the band as he probably sees it. The trucks then start arriving and as I'm supervising I get to park them up. They arrive in aids as there are 38 containers coming, and they drop the trailer and the cab goes off to get another. I'm asked about the car parked in the middle of the parking area for the trailers, and I have to tell them that he's security, and I've been told to take it up with production if there's an issue. An accord is reached without a word being said, and the trailers are distributed by how they are loaded in, but the first 4 all seem to be parked around Robocop's car. We all get the trailers set and start the night-long load-in. A lot of it is just emptying the trailers and putting the flight cases where they need to be. So it gets to 6 AM in the morning, and we've been going hard since 11 PM the night before. And lo, Robocop appears. "Where's my car?" "It's where you parked it, mate." "How am I going to get it?" "Best speak to production as we're not allowed to move them trailers now until next Monday." His bottom lip actually quivered and he walked off. We then got to see him picked up by his missus, her giving lip all the time for getting her up at this time. Edit, just as a closure, at the end of the week, we're leaving and we see he's now on the road directing traffic. My guys wanted to have a pop, but I stopped them and had a chat with him. He'd been moved from backstage and put on traffic for the week because he had gone straight to the production and not his supervisor. Big no-no for security to bother production. As soon as this guy said, "Oh, I'm not your mate," I was like, okay, I hope he gets trapped. Oh, I have to ask for my days off to be my days off? Okay. So I started a new job about 2 months ago. During the hiring and interview process, it was established overtime was voluntary, and if we wanted to work it, all we had to do was ask. I start, and for the first 2 weeks there wasn't any overtime happening, and I didn't ask. Working second shift pretty much means your whole week is shot if you go in on Saturday. But by the 3rd week, me and a few other people were just scheduled without being asked availability. No big deal, I can do a few here and there I thought, and we worked 2 weekends in a row. Now, this pattern starts to repeat for the last 2 months now. Have off 1 weekend, then work the next 2. Come this week, I'm put on the schedule again for Saturday, and I go to my boss stating that I'm not available. This is when I'm told I have to tell them a week in advance if I want my days off to be, well, off. So I email HR asking them about what was stated during onboarding and the situation. I'm told that it's voluntary and that's company policy. I go in the next day and notify my boss that I'm giving them lots of advance notice that I'm not available for any Saturday for the next 3 months, and if things change, I'll follow policy and volunteer. She got blood red in the face anger and called HR and was told the same story and that I wasn't violating any rules. Some notes: bosses are not able to hire or fire at my company, or even recommend it. It is 100% HR's job. The company is desperate for workers as the average stay is only about 3 weeks for a new hire. We also don't get a lunch break at all, and this wasn't mentioned until my first day on the job. I am a CNC operator, machinist making parts for several military contractors. Wait, no lunch break? Is that legal? You want your groceries out here with me? Have fun getting them soaked. So I work at a large retail establishment in the United States that started doing grocery pickup within the last year. Think Kroger's click list. Basically, customers place orders online, we shop for their groceries, then we bring them to their cars during a set time frame. We read off any substitutions. If anything was unavailable, we get their signature and load the groceries. One day, it was ridiculously busy and pouring with rain. We don't have any form of awning or anything to protect us or the groceries or our equipment from the rain other than raincoats and maybe an umbrella. We also have to read any changes to the order off basically a chunky smartphone. Obviously, if that gets wet, there's gonna be issues. Whenever it's like this, most of our customers are very understanding, but some people are super impatient. I decided that to minimize how wet the groceries and our handhelds got, I would go outside with an umbrella, read off the order, then go back inside and get the groceries. Everyone was fine with this except for one woman. I explained my method to her and she immediately complained about her wait, knowing full well it was pouring rain and all of our parking spots were full, and said she wasn't going to sign anything unless her groceries were out here in front of her. She didn't have any substitutions and I had her order inside right next to the door. I guess she either thought I'd steal something or that I'd move on to another customer. I figured I'd go ahead and comply. I went inside, put my umbrella away, and as slowly as possible parked her groceries in the rain behind her car. Then walked up to her and pretended to have trouble with my handheld due to the rain, then let her know everything was picked as ordered. I guess she felt bad or realized what she had asked me to do because she apologized and helped me load the groceries. Wow, the way they described them at first, I was thinking, oh, that's a Karen, she's gonna want a refund for her wet groceries, but no, at least she understood her mistake. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like, and if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.